I just wanted to talk a bit about Anthony Joshua's upcoming fight, which is taking place in Manchester Arena in November the 26th. Now, there's been a few names mentioned for this fight, but just over the last few days, it's recently only been talked about Kubrat Pulev as the opponent, and it's just down to finalising the amount of money. And of course, Kubrat Pulev is going to be asking and demanding a lot of money for this fight because he's a top level heavyweight. He's been, in the top 10. He's been the number one contender in the top 10 before he got beat by Wladimir Klitschko. I mean, he was the top contender by Ring Magazine and every other heavyweight belt apart from one. So, he's a big name. He's a big heavyweight, and it's only been very recently that Anthony Joshua's actually overtaken Kubrat Pulev in the ranking system. So I just want to talk about the importance of this fight for Anthony Joshua. Now, Kubrat Pulev, great amateur career, highly decorated amateur, successful professional career. He's fought a few top 10 fighters, he's fought some solid top 20 fighters. He's far more experienced than Anthony Joshua. He's got a lot of good things going for him in the ring. He's very highly skilled, fast hands, great footwork. He's good at getting in and out from the opponent. I mean, he's going to be a tricky fighter. He's got not very much punching power. He's not a power puncher at all. I think his KO rate's something like 49, 41% or something like that. He's not a power puncher. If Kubrat Pulev was to win this fight, it would be by decision. I can't see him knocking out Anthony Joshua unless Anthony Joshua does prove to have stamina problems, which I think is going to be incorrect. But if Anthony Joshua does beat Kubrat Pulev, it'll be the biggest win in the heavyweight division since Tyson Fury beat Wladimir Klitschko. And I will say the only heavyweights to beat the same level of opponent or better than if Anthony Joshua beat Kubrat Pulev is Tyson Fury when he beat Wladimir Klitschko and Wladimir Klitschko when he beat Kubrat Pulev. So this is a big fight. This is a very important fight for Anthony Joshua. There's a lot of people right now saying Anthony Joshua's fought weak opposition. At least people that don't like Anthony Joshua have said the opponents haven't been very good, which is true in a way. They haven't been real top 10 fighters. And there's Scott Guilford on Boxing News 24, which just says Anthony Joshua's been fed fodder, which he knows is untrue in his mind because he was bombing up Charles Martin and Dominic Brazil, saying they were highly talented fighters until Anthony Joshua knocked them both out with ease. So, this is going to be a very important fight because no one can say Anthony Joshua has not fought strong opponents. The only people that will have fought stronger opponents over the last couple of years will be Tyson Fury, and that's it. Because, like I say, Wladimir Klitschko has only fought and beat recently Kubrat Pulev, which would be the same level. And since Anthony Joshua has beat an opponent the same level as Wladimir Klitschko only more recently, you could easily see Anthony Joshua getting put up to the number one contender in BoxRec and Ring Magazine. And Boxing News 24's rating system as well, which ranks all the heavyweights. So this is a hugely important fight for Anthony Joshua, and it's very important he wins it. I would also like to say Anthony Joshua is going to be judged on this fight on his first real top 10 opponent. They're going to be seeing, does his power carry on into the top level of the heavyweight division? Does he still have that power at the top level? Does he look as good? I mean, is he winning every round? Is he winning every round as well at the top level of this division? And then people are going to start making parallels between Wladimir Klitschko and Tyson Fury and Luis Ortiz and Alexander Povetkin and whatnot with this with how he looks during this fight. And if he loses, it's not a big deal. I mean, Kubrat Pulev's a great fighter. Anthony Joshua is very young, and you could say Anthony Joshua has been rushed into this fight. And if he loses, as long as you learn, as long as you change things, as long as you come back, you can still win and have a successful career. But if he looks good and beats Kubrat Pulev right now, this is a massively important fight for Anthony Joshua. It can't be stressed enough how important this fight is. And that's all I've really got to say.